guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. It's a chit chat video and I'm just kind of, it's free flowing. I don't really have a direction that I want to go with this. There is a general topic, as you can tell from the title, but we're just gonna go with this and see how it goes. Hopefully this helps somebody. Hopefully you enjoy this. Maybe we'll do more. I don't know. So as you can tell from the title, this is going to be all about loving yourself and self-love and just accepting yourself for who you are. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about how I've gotten to where I am now. When I was in 8th grade, when my parents, we moved away from where we used to live and I went to a new school, and that was like when I just noticed like there was a major shift in me, because before then I think that like everything was pretty, not everything in life was pretty insignificant, but I noticed for me that was when I really started to like come into my character and come into my personality and just, I mean, that's like, how old was I? Like 12 or 13, so that's like the prime time of like when most girls begin to come into their identity and discover who they are. So we're gonna take it back to 8th grade. I moved to this new town. I don't have any friends. I'm leaving like my childhood best friends and coming to this new place. Just like a little background information, it's like not very culturally diverse. My graduating class, they were, I think, 32 or 33 minorities total, and most of us were related. I mean, it's mind-boggling for me coming from a place where there was so much diversity. You had all kinds of friends from different ethnic groups, and then I get to this other place and it's a major culture shock for me. So initially I did not fit in, and I don't want that to be like super cliche, but it's like I didn't fit in because I didn't think there were people like me. And it's like the black girls that I did go to school with, I've been told this many times, even to this day. People told me their first impression of me was, I didn't think that you were nice because you like had this like face, or it looked like you had an attitude. And like, I don't mean to make a joke about it, but it's like literally like my resting face. Like that's just the way it is. It's like most of the time when you approach me, like I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? And I start smiling and I'm giggling. But a lot of girls didn't think that I was an approachable person, and then it was just hard for me to find people that I related to, because these are new people. These people themselves have known each other since elementary school. So it was a lot of just factors into like, oh my goodness, like get me out of here. I don't want to be here. This is not for me. Like we need to go home. So around that time was also when I began to play with the idea of I want to go natural. So this was when like my mom still like relaxed my hair like at the beginning of the school year, and then she relaxed it the midpoint, like Christmas break, and then that held me through the summer until I got my hair relaxed again. So it was one of those kinds of things where it's like she still made decisions about my hair, but then I was kind of like, I want to not get relaxers, because I noticed like in between my hair would grow a lot, my hair would be really healthy. So I kept getting relaxers up until 10th grade year, but in between, when my hair went back to its natural texture, I would wear it in pigtails a lot. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it here somewhere, but I would wear my hair in pigtails. And I remember people would make jokes and say things like, one girl, she used to call me broccoli head all the time. In addition to that, I was really skinny. It wasn't until like my senior year of high school that I hit like 120 pounds. Like throughout that whole time, I was like anywhere from like 90 to like 110 on a really good day. There was one girl that I remember distinctly. I will never forget this. She was like, why don't you just go back to Nigeria? You look like one of those kids, sponsor a child for 40 cents a day. I'm like, people, now that I look back on it, it's like children are so cruel. And I'm never one to be like, well, look at you now. But it's just one of those things where it's like, when I was younger, I would just cry about all this stuff, because what else am I gonna do? You know, having African parents, Nigerian parents, I say African parents because I have realized from undergrad, a lot of African and even my Caribbean friends have similar upbringing. So we would tell jokes and tell stories and it was the same thing. But you tell African parents like somebody's bullying me at school and they're like, I send you to school to get an education, not to make friends. So this continued on through majority of high school. By like junior year, I'd made some friends and I had like, you know, found my peer group. Like I was on the dance team, I ran track, I was in orchestra for some time. So it was good. I started to find this, but I still had some insecurities. I still had a lot of issues with my self-esteem just because it goes back to I'm in an environment where there's nobody really, there's a limited selection of people that are like me. You know, I'm very tall, I'm 5'10", I have an athletic build. There are not many, I have kinky textured hair. There are not a lot of girls like me, you know? My senior year of high school, it was the weekend before state championships. I made a decision to not necessarily do my big chop, but it kind of sort of was like a pseudo big chop. I went in and cut off all my relaxed ends, and I was like, it was so liberating to me. And I don't know, I think it just kind of symbolized me like freeing myself, because a lot of time in high school I would do things and think, okay, if I do this, then this boy is going to like me. Or if I do this, then these people are going to be friends with me. I remember there was a group of girls and they were on a particular sports team when we were in high school, and one girl, she said to me, she made fun of my clothes, and I didn't think anything was wrong with my clothes. I thought that I dressed cute. I mean, these are the clothes that my mother buys for me, so I don't really see an issue with it. And she made fun of my clothes because she made some comment, like some crass comment about like, you don't wear Hollister, or you don't wear Abercrombie, and you don't wear Aeropostale, like you can't afford it. So it's like another thing, like I cried again. That's the main way that I coped with most things in high school. I just cried about it because I'm like, why are people so mean to me? I'm thinking like, we live in a utopian society, everybody's gonna be so nice, and why are these people bullying me? You know, it's just fairy tale fantasy world. I mean, if only. But I cried about it, and then I told my mom, I was like, one day we were going shopping and I asked her, could we specifically go to Goodwill? And I went through there and I picked out every single Abercrombie and Hollister t-shirt that I could find, just so I could go to school, and so that this girl would not be mean to me and think that I was poor and, you know, say like crass things about me. And it's like, looking back, my 22-year-old self, looking back on like my 15, 16-year-old self, I'm just like, that is so crazy. Like, you allowed somebody's words to like penetrate like your well-being, your sanity. You went so far as to going to a Goodwill that was like 20 minutes from your house just to get some Abercrombie clothes, to be like, hey, I showed that girl, but then also hope that she would accept me as her friend. And I say this all to say, like, even now as a 22-year-old, I have learned that I just have to love myself. Loving myself is a daily task. Every day you have to commit acts of self-love. Even now, there are still people that I know, that I meet on a daily basis, that think because of my resting face that I have a bad attitude, or that I'm a mean person, or because my voice, as you can tell, is a little upbeat, but it's for the most part pretty monotone. I don't have a high-pitched voice, and I'm completely okay with that. That's who I am. Like, I'm confident in who I am. But there are people who, when I talk, they think that I'm rude. I come off as rude. And that's just the way I talk. I'm not gonna say, hey, how are you? Because that's fake and that's very forced, and it pains me a little bit. You know? It's just, you have to be comfortable, and you can't allow what other people think of you and other people's comments and criticism of you to seep into your well-being and think like, maybe I am doing something wrong. You know? I know that there's things that I can work on every single day, and I don't have to drastically alter my personality. I know that there are other girls that do other things with their lives. Like, I can't allow myself to, for instance, get onto social media and see other girls, I don't know, that have really beautiful features and think, wow, like, I wish I had this, or if only I had this, then, you know, somebody would think that I was really beautiful. Because in high school, I did that a lot. People are going to want to be your friend regardless of regardless. There are 7.3 billion people on this planet. So just because one person doesn't like you, guess what? There's still billions of people that are going to like you. It's guaranteed. People will like you regardless. So just be yourself and embrace yourself and love yourself. You don't need to look for validation from other people, because that's the issue that I struggled with the most. And it's like, now when I see people who do struggle with that, it hurts my heart. But then at the same time, like, if you just let that go, then it's a whole new world. You know, I couldn't remember the rest of the lyrics from Aladdin, but Oh my goodness. You should never get to the point in your life where you thrive and you live and die by what somebody has to say about you. Like, if somebody doesn't tell you that you're pretty, then you don't think that you're pretty, you know? You should be able to wake up every morning and say, wow, I am a beautiful human being. I've been put on this earth for a purpose, and I'm going to live every day and fulfill out that purpose. On Valentine's Day, I noticed that a lot of people were upset because they didn't have a Valentine, or they were just really bitter because they were like, oh, I'm single and this is Singles Awareness Day. And it's like, one thing, like, it might seem funny to some people, but it's like, do you know that God loves you so, so much, and you are uniquely you? There's a quote that I've seen before, and it's like, how amazing is it to think that God created this beautiful earth and he thought that it needed a you? Like, do you process that? Like, oh my goodness, like, I'm getting like a little teary-eyed just thinking about that. Like, this beautiful, good green earth that we have, and God thought that you were special enough to create and put on this world. The world needed just one of you. It's just, I've just really gotten to the point in life where I can't allow other people's words to bring me down. People saying things like, oh, you need to work on your personality, you need to work on your voice, or you need to work on this. I know that there are things that I can work on every single day. You can only get better every single day. You can only go up, you know? You have to think about it like that. But it's some days, like, it's normal. It's completely normal to feel like you aren't good enough, or you come up short, or, you know, just feel a little discouraged. It's completely human. Like, we're human. It happens to everybody. And if you say that it doesn't happen to you, then you're a liar and you should not be trusted. But I mean, you really have to be confident in who you are. And as soon as you can accept your flaws, then nobody can use them against you. One thing that my dad always used to tell me, and even still now tells me, when people come at you in a negative demeanor and say things and try to play it off as a joke or bring you down, then you can spin it back and turn it back on them. Or if you don't react in the way that they're expecting, it throws them off. And people don't like that. People don't get a sense of satisfaction out of knowing they can't bring you down. You know, for instance, if somebody says to me, oh my gosh, your nostrils are so big, I was like, yeah, all the better to smell the roses with. You know, they weren't expecting that. Rather than if I had been like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, my nostrils are really big, they're so ugly. Now that person has gotten under my skin. When you turn it into a joke and spin it back on that person, it makes that person uncomfortable because they weren't expecting you to be like, acknowledge your flaw and make a joke out of it. So now they're the one that's uncomfortable rather than placing you in an uncomfortable situation, if you get what I'm saying. You should just think, I'm wonderfully and fearfully made, and I'm here to do something great and impact so many people along the way, you know? Like, you are so loved, it doesn't even make sense. Like, God loves you so much, more than any human could ever love you. Humans will fail you and they will disappoint you on a daily basis, multiple times on a daily basis even. But God will never forsake you. He is always here for you. His love is just, it's unfathomable. Like, you can't even begin to grasp and comprehend it, you know? And if God, who is omnipotent and just all-powerful, all-knowing, is able to love you so much, then you should be able to love yourself that much. I just feel like a lot of us get into relationships and situations, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's with your own family. You get into situations where people have the power to just tell you people treat you a certain way that allows you to think like, maybe I'm not worth it, or, you know, maybe I'm less than, and you should never allow that. Because one thing that I want everybody to know is that how someone treats you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. Like, I don't know if you guys like process that, like, how someone treats you is a direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. If you don't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. You can't be two broken people in a relationship. You can't expect to once again seek validation from somebody else and think like, if I'm just in this relationship, then it will complete me. You should be two complete people. You should supplement each other. We're gonna take it back to math. You should be two supplementary angles. Together, you should equal 180. You each are 90. You should not be two complementary angles, both adding up to 90, you know? You should be whole, each whole to make something even greater. You see the analogy? If you can't tell, I like analogies. You should, one, know who you are and be able to stand confidently in who you are and not allow anybody's criticism to bring you down or shift you or shake you in any way, because you should stand so confidently and firmly in your truth and who you are as a person that you should be unwavered by what anybody has to say about you. Like when people say you make really ugly facial expressions or you have really stank facial expressions, I just laugh because I don't care. Like, you know, it's just that simple. Somebody can say all day to me, you have a really mean voice. And I know that I'm not a mean person. I know that I don't have a mean heart and that there's no malice intention. I don't have ill intentions for people when I speak, when I talk. This is how I talk in every single video. It would rather be fake of me to talk in a high-pitched voice, because that's one, me going out of my way to do something different. You should never have to go out of your way to be somebody else and alter who you are to please people. The only person that you should be concerned with pleasing is yourself and God, really. Because if you're not happy, then nothing else matters, you know? You shouldn't be worried about trying to constantly please people God your way. Like, I just have to make this person happy. I have to make this person happy. Because once you please that person or satisfy whatever it is that that person needs for you, guess what? They're gonna have another want or demand or another need. It's just like the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. It's never ending. Okay, I changed the way I talk, or I changed my tone of voice. Then what? Oh, next that person's gonna want me to change my hair. It's a never-ending cycle. Oh, that person's gonna want me to change, I don't know, the way I do my brows or the way I dress. It's literally a never-ending cycle. So you just have to be confident in the way you are, because there are people who are always gonna be upset with how you do things or how you live your life. And that's okay, because guess what? They have their own life to live. That's the amazing thing about it. People can be upset about the way that you do things, but thank God they have their own life to live and to alter and to do their own things. Every day is a journey in self-love. So if it means doing small things with great meaning every single day, whether it's writing in your journal and tracking your progress and tracking your journey, I encourage everybody to start a journal and just see where you were, because it's useful. You can see, wow, a year ago I was doing this and I was obsessing over this, and it's a year later and guess what? It doesn't even matter anymore. Or guess what? That boy, he's not important. Or something that I was like praying really hard about, or something that I really wanted to happen, it's happened now. And it's so amazing and it's awesome. Just doing small acts of kindness every day. Even if it means maybe just doing your makeup, giving yourself 15 minutes to do your makeup. Little things that you take time for yourself. Treat yourself. Be honest with yourself on what you can improve on. So that's really everything that I have to say for now. I mean, I could make many other videos just about this. This could be a series of videos, but I just wanted to touch base on that because it was something that was pressing on my heart, and I feel like not enough people hear it. So if you don't hear it enough, you are loved and you are so beautiful. The world is so lucky to have a you. You are amazing. You're gonna do great things. You deserve the absolute very best, and you can only get better every single day. So that's all that I have for you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little different. It's stepping out of my comfort zone, but I like to talk a lot and I just like to motivate people and make people feel good about themselves. So I really do hope that this helps somebody out. Down in the description box, I have a email if you have any need to contact me, or if you want more chit chat videos, then definitely shoot me an email. If you just want to talk, want me to do a particular video, chit chat video on something, then you can let me know down below if you don't feel comfortable putting it down in the comments. But that is all that I have for you guys. I really do hope that this helped, or this just resonated with you to some degree. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys have a absolutely wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.